Hi there to all you truth-seeking beloved people watching this program. My name is Ibulama, or Nikita as most people know me. To learn Bible knowledge and wisdom that most people have forgotten is a privilege. Thanks for watching this program with us. With me is Altizator, or Ernst Jordan as most people know him. Ernst is the CEO of Paramis Tower of Light here on earth. You can read more on Ernst and the 82 books he has written on deity science, psychic and spiritual development, and many, many more. Do not miss out on the previous series we compiled. All these programs are on our website, in the YouTube section and on the main page.
Thank you, Nikita, for presenting this program with me, and a hearty welcome to all our truth-seeking friends watching this program. All thanks to the Most High, Toratri Yahweh Gloria, for giving me the strength and everything to compile this program, and thanks for all the guides he appointed over me who helped me compile this series. You know, for the best part of 50 years, I've been a deity science researcher. Now, Nikita, like me, she knows theology, but she prefers to research deity science. Within 2 years, she and her spouse passed grade level 11, Paramis True Deity Science cum laude, pardon me, and she mastered the Cosmic Science Militia cum laude after successfully tapping in upon Dimension 190 light side. Nikita, I am so proud to have you next to me. Thanks.
Ernst, as always, it is a big pleasure working with you and all our guides
Thanks.
here. And if you find this program interesting, you are welcome to subscribe to be notified of our forthcoming programs. If you feel or if you know people who will find these programs interesting, please feel welcome to share these programs with them. These programs contain info you have never heard of before. This is not a Christian series, but a Paramis Tower of Light series, focusing on the oldest deity wisdom possible.
In today's program, we discuss what governments around the world refer to as a conspiracy theory. After watching this program, intelligent people around the world can judge for themselves why the truth is presented to be a conspiracy. All Western people on earth are not mind-controlled to act like zombies in believing everything Satan's puppeteers present to them as facts.
Since the first humanity was fixed on earth, Satan ruled planet earth with lies, which he still does. We feel sorry for the Western white people, who are supposed to be the people with the highest IQ, average of all nations, races and sub-races on earth, but who prefer to be mind-controlled Christians. The generations after them will have to recognize the faults of their ancestors and what their fathers were Bible-wise, too uneducated to see, understand and practice.
If Satan ruled the world since the first humanity on earth, which is a fact, it is obvious that Satan will remain in control over the nations for this world for at least the next 200 million years. What we can do individually is to avoid being a member of the Christian mind-controlled zombie-acting masses.
Rather study true deity science to avoid being demoted as a consciousness-giving life soul the day you soul transfer. We do not want to be earthbound after the human body to which we give consciousness to dies. On the other hand, we do not want to live according to Satan's unfair laws, keeping us in the darkness of lies. Educating the truth plays a leading role in society.
When I heard that all power on earth was given to Satan to provide this power for whoever is willing to keep Satan on the throne, ruling planet earth by keeping the willing, unshielded masses mind-controlled, the only way to prove it was to test it against true reality in the time we live and against humanity's history. This is what we want you to do after watching this program. Pardon? Test your country's government's mindset to see on which side they are. On the true side, light side deities, or on the side of Satan and his dark side kingdoms. It is so easy to do so.
If ancient wisdom like what is written in Luke comes from the Christian Bible, it does not prove true due to the more than 60,000 mistakes in the 17th century King James Bible alone. Can you imagine how many more lies have been written in the more modern translations? In modern translations of the Christian Bible, the Church's Bible translators promoted the Messiah, Yeshua Rodolpha, or Jesus Christ, as you know him, to be the Almighty of all gods, the Most High Torah Yahweh Goria included. This is how conceited the Christian Church and its mind-controlled followers are.
If we understand what we read and study, sorry people, the only way to prove a Bible verse like Luke chapter 4 verse 5, true or false, is by who is ruling the earth at present. Listen to the words written in Luke chapter 4 verses 5 to 7. And the devil, taking him, which is Jesus, up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment in time. And the devil said unto Jesus, All this power will I give to you, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whoever I will give it. If you therefore will worship me, all shall be yours. The question arises, who today received this power and the glory of it? And it's so easy to work it out.
It is easy to compile a mainframe skeleton hierarchy of all forms of authority on earth, beginning with Satan himself on top and ending with the lowest form of authority in your country. Under Satan serves the New World Order. Part of the New World Order, or one world government, is the United Nations, of which your country is probably a member. Check it out and make sure of your findings.
If your country's government is a member of the United Nations, your country's government serves the New World Order, having a representative candidate in the United Nations. I am sure if you are not mind-controlled, this will be a shock to you to know your country's government serves Satan. That is, if you understand the functioning of the cosmic laws and you realize the consequences of transgressing them. Each action activates a fairly deserved reaction.
Definitely. After completing the hierarchy of world leaders, you can start sketching your country's hierarchical structure, starting with your country's state president. Under him, the cabinet ministers down to the lowest form of authority in your country. Make sure your sketch includes national, provincial and municipal governments as well as the defense forces of your country. When completed, you have another task of investigation.
Download the Cosmic Laws from our main page under the section More Info. The document will take you an hour or more to study. When you are acquainted with its contents, put your country's laws next to it and see if your country's legislation represents the cosmic laws of the Most High or not. You can start with the cosmic law of authenticity. Does your country's legislation contain this cosmic law, or is it against it? Does apartheid apply in your country as it should or not? If not, your country serves the New World Order's legislation and not the cosmic laws of the Most High.
Additionally, investigate whether your country's government is in service of the public of your country who voted for them, or are the public under the oppression of your country's government?
Please make sure, people, this is very serious. You think you serve a country, your government, but are you serving them or are they serving you as it should be? A household has a father, mother, or both, who are the leaders of that household and the governors on behalf of the household members. When people from a group, when they form a group, they select a leader who represents them as a group. A gang has a leader chosen by the members who represent them on their behalf. A company has management and a CEO representing the company on behalf of the company's people and the shareholders and everybody included.
A town has a council chosen by the people living there. The town council governs the town on behalf of its residents. A city's residents are represented by councillors chosen by the city's residents in the different wards awarded to act on their behalf.
A town, a city, province or a country's governors are a government act on behalf of their voters. I'm going to repeat the sentence. A town, city, province or country's governors as a government act on behalf of their voters. This is how it is supposed to function and not the other way around. You know, since I've been a kid, I was taught the other way around under Christian education in South Africa. Can you believe it? No government is supposed to have any properties whatsoever. Pardon. The reason is obvious and logical. A government of any kind administrates the tax money of its public. It is not the possession or the, what do you call it? The possession of the government.
Buildings from where they operate were paid for by the public's tax money, which belongs to them as public. What governments usually do is invest the public's tax money. With interest earned, these governments will buy land and buildings, registering them in the government's name to be government property.
Any person representing any authority in a country is supposed to be on the payroll of the public and not on the payroll of the government itself. These persons are being paid from public tax money, which does not belong to the government at all. The government must act according to the wishes and legislation wanted by the public, not the other way around.
If a government needs land on which to research, as an example, that land belongs to the public whose tax money is used to pay for it. A government are logically not supposed to have land or any building registered in the government's name. If I appoint a person to administrate my money on my behalf and I need to buy property, that property belongs to me and cannot be registered in that person's name. That will be fraud and corruption.
Yeah, you know, Nikita and friends out there, if you this money, tax money of a country, serves the same way as a trust. The trust administrators cannot take that money for them. I mean, they will be jailed on the spot. What is the government's not? Why are they not in jail already?
Yeah.
But how do they say? They put them alongside the legislation. It's not applicable to them. This is how satanic this world governments are. Why then is it not fraud and corruption when a government who are voted for by its country's public administrates a country's tax money? You will only see my argument as wrong if you are mind-controlled yourself or part of Satan's clan on earth. Corruption cannot be accepted as fair. Doesn't matter how you look at it.
Are the contents of your country's legislation compiled and voted for by the public or by your government's bosses, the New World Order? Is your government serving Satan's new world order or you, the public?
Who decides on what percentage of tax your country's public must pay? Did the public vote for it to be 10% of the Most High, as the Most High declared it to be? Or was it decided by your country's government or their boss, the New World Order perhaps?
Who decides on salaries and salary increases of the government's personnel who get paid from public and tax money? Your country's state president perhaps, or your country's public?
Does your country's government have secret special projects without the public knowing about them, although they are financed by public tax money? Is what your government does with tax money the will of your country's public or the will of the New World Order perhaps?
Does your government provide free medical care, or are there private hospitals where the public has to pay extraordinary prices or end up in a government hospital where the chances are better to die than to be healed due to the incompetent medical personnel?
Have you noticed that certain countries' public are living guinea pigs to test medical products on? Why do medical personnel have to keep records and report all prescribed medicines' effects on patients' bodies? Without knowing it, these mind-controlled people are living guinea pigs. People all over the globe are still dying of the COVID-19 pandemic viruses that were spread by governments over the globe. A demand of the New World Order to get rid of at least 3 billion people.
Have you lost family and friends due to COVID? Have you ever tested the logic behind the terms and conditions provided by the government during COVID-19? Was it not strange to you that cigarettes, as one example, were banned during COVID-19? This is because smokers who had nicotine in their bodies did not die at the same rate as non-smokers.
I know of a COVID-19 patient in the ICU of one of the private hospitals who, after a friend fixed a Nicorette plaster on his body, recovered within days. We advise people who are COVID-19 related ill or who have never before known strange illnesses, even years after they took the COVID-19 injections, to fix Nicorette patches on their body or chew the Nicorette gum. Those who followed our advice recovered soon.
To wipe out certain humanities, their livestock and grain on the fields is part of any tectonic warfare orchestrated by the New World Order and implemented since the first part of the previous century. Western people are too mind-controlled to know it. White Christians are under the impression that only their Trinity God is in command of nature and disasters, etc., which was proven to be wrong early in the previous centuries.
Yeah, it's so strange. If you ask any Eastern person, Chinaman, Korean, Japanese, even the Tibetans, everybody knows about tectonic warfare. It's only the Christians here in South Africa who will do the following. Yeah. Oh, they put their eyes backwards and whatever. Yeah. According to most Western people, there are no light side or dark side gods on earth who can orchestrate nature by will. I mean, these people cannot even see further than the third dimension. Why do they give comments on something they cannot even, or they don't want to learn to see? I mean, most Western people know about or heard of the 13 financially richest families on earth, referred to as the Illuminati or Satan's seed lines family, who own most companies and institutions on earth.
When the family member who owns most car factories on earth would like higher car sales, his brothers will arrange a few man-made floods in certain countries during which thousands of cars can be washed away by the man-made floods. Those countries are all members of the United Nations under the New World Order, which means that they will have to apply for a financial loan to import cars and other vehicles, or just to wipe out the damage caused by these man-made nature disasters.
And where do they borrow the money from? From the World Bank. The big puppeteer New World Order decides which country needs what. If the cattle and the crops of a country are washed away by man-made disasters, it is obvious that that country will have no choice but to borrow money from the World Bank, which poor third world countries cannot afford. And in this way they are forced to adapt to all the New World Order's expectations and legislation, to dance according to the will of Satan as the main puppeteer. Where floods, landslides, tsunamis, earthquakes, cyclones, tornadoes and other nature disasters occur, the trained eye can see if the nature disaster was man-made or God-made. I just want to repeat that name for you who's interested to go and look for it on internet. It is called tectonic warfare.
Christians forget that planet Earth houses God's Hefkanams and higher in rank and title inside as well as outside human bodies. Christians refer to the Holy Ghost, who is omnipresent, meaning that God is omnipresent. However, they never care to draw a picture in their mind of in what form this Holy Ghost or spook. The spook is a synonym word for ghost or spirit, is omnipresent.
No, a synonym. What do you call it? What's the English word? It's a synonym, eh?
Yeah.
It's the same meaning as spook, ghost,
Yes.
holy, consciousness, living, life force, all the same word. Western Christians know the word omnipresent, but cannot explain its sensible. They are under the impression that the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spook advises Christians how to keep on the good path, planting thoughts in their minds. But why then do the Holy Spook give more than 6,000 different opposite answers to the same questions? I mean, really?
Why are there more than 6,000 different Christian churches in place if it is the same Holy Spook answering them all? Is this Holy Spook not consequent in his answers? The fact is that selected human bodies on earth houses consciousness giving life forms such as light side and dark side, angels, gods, goddesses, Hefkanams and higher, which could be found in defense and special task forces.
For sure, Nikita, for sure. The dark side representatives in human bodies takes care of the man-made nature disasters. The light side handles the natural nature disasters according to the cosmic laws of the Most High Turatri Yahweh Gloria. We hope that you have the correct answer.
During the next program, we share wisdom on the Book of the Watchers, which form part of the books of Enoch. That was part of the Christian Bible for more than 500 years before it was removed by the Christian Church. What wisdom knowledge in this book poses a threat to the Christian Church that it had to be removed from the Bible? Until then, this is going to be awesome.
Bye.